From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Canada Post has rejected the Canadian Union of Postal Workers' request for binding arbitration to end its labor dispute. The union, representing 55,000 Canada Post workers, had invited the Crown Corporation to a fair, final, and binding arbitration process to resolve negotiations that have dragged on for months without producing a new collective agreement. Canada Post dismissed the proposal, saying it wants to restore stability to the Postal Service, arguing the union's request would do the opposite. The Postal Service says arbitration would likely last more than a year, adding to what it described as its significant financial challenges. New rules took effect in Quebec today, requiring French to be the dominant language on store signs, also imposing stricter guidelines for product packaging. French must now take up twice as much space as other languages on store signs in the province. The Quebec Vice President of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business says with rule violations costing companies up to $30,000 per day, fines can add up.
It is a complex rule that will create more red tape and more cost for small businesses. So if the government really wanted to help businesses putting forward the new requirements to have more French, it would have be a good choice to give more time to businesses in Quebec.
The changes are part of Quebec's 2022 overhaul of its French language law known as Bill 96. Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced his appointment to one of the most powerful positions in Canadian politics. Canada's former ambassador to the United Nations, Marc-André Blanchard, will soon be his permanent chief of staff. Also, sources say former Attorney General David Lametti has been hired as Carney's principal secretary, the top political aide position in the PMO. Lametti was shuffled out of cabinet in July of 2023 and resigned as an MP the next year. The sources are not authorized to speak publicly about the appointments before they are formally announced. The Prime Minister was in Calgary today holding a private meeting with oil and gas executives to talk about how to make Canada an energy superpower. It marked Carney's first visit to Calgary since being sworn in as Prime Minister.
Partnership is a theme for our discussion this morning. It's a critical time for our country. The world's certainly more divided and dangerous, and the imperative of making Canada an energy superpower in all respects has never been greater.
More than 24 execs were at the closed-door roundtable meeting. Many of them had earlier signed a letter congratulating Carney on his election win and pitching policy measures that they say would help make good on his promise to build the fastest-growing economy in the G7. And in British Columbia, the province is marking a somber start to Filipino Heritage Month with a tribute to the victims of April's deadly attack at Vancouver's Lapu-Lapu Day Festival. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays had an 8-4 comeback win to sweep the 4-game series against the Oakland Athletics at the Rogers Centre. Toronto's defensive totals for the 4-game sweep were 39 runs and 56 hits, including 11 homers. The Blue Jays have Monday off before beginning a 3-game set at home against the Philadelphia Phillies on Tuesday. The final of the Memorial Cup goes today in Quebec as the Medicine Hat Tigers take on the London Knights. The Knights advance to the final of the Elite Major Junior Hockey Tournament with a semi-final win over the Moncton Wildcats. The Tigers went undefeated through the round robin to earn a spot directly into tonight's final. Nick Taylor is in the hunt as the final round of the PGA Tour's Memorial Tournament is underway in Dublin, Ohio. Next up on the PGA Tour's schedule is the Canadian Open, which Taylor won in 2023. And the Vancouver Whitecaps are looking to become the first Canadian team to win the CONCACAF Championships Cup with the win tonight in Mexico City. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.